Hey, welcome back, Intermediate Algebra. So this Khan Academy is called Quadratics by taking square roots with steps. So you're going to tell us step by step how to solve this and get to your roots, to get to your answers, okay? So step number one on this one is we have to get rid of this -5. Whatever's being added or subtracted on the outside of the parenthesis, have to get rid of that first if it's there. And in this case, I've picked two problems where it will be there. So you know, you got to do it. So how do you get rid of a -5? That's right. You add 5 to both sides. So you would take this one here and you would drag it over to here. Put that as your first step. Now, once that's done, you have this equals 128. So now we got to get rid of that number that's being multiplied by the parentheses. So how do you get rid of a 2 that's being multiplied by the parentheses? Well, you need to divide both sides by 2. So we're going to take this divide by 2, we're going to drag it right to there, and we're going to put it right there. Okay? Now we have this parenthesis squared equals, see, what is 128 divided by 2? That would be like 64. So we have this equals 64. How do you get rid of a squared? You need to take the square root of that. So we're going to take square root of this side, square root of that side. So you see this one down here where it says take square root. We're going to drag that right up to here and put that one right there. Okay? Then we have x plus 3/4 equals plus or minus 8, because the square root of 64 is plus or minus 8. How do we get rid of the plus 3/4? You would say, hopefully you're going to say, well, we need to subtract 3/4 from both sides. So we're going to take this one, we're going to drag it right to there, and that's what you do. Those are your steps to solving it right there. Okay, let's do one more to make sure we have this. Okay, all right, so here's our example problem. And again, what's our first step right here? I'll take a second. What is it? Hopefully you just said we got to get rid of this plus 2. How do you get rid of a plus 2? You need to subtract 2 from both sides. So we're going to find subtract 2 from both sides, drag that, put that one right up there. Then, after we subtracted 2 from both sides, we've got 1/2 times the x plus 5 squared equals 40.5. So how do you get rid of a 1/2? Now you could say you could divide both sides by 1/2. You could divide both sides by 1/2. You'll notice that's not an option here, because there's a better way. Instead of dividing by 1/2, you can multiply by the reciprocal because it's easier. And what's the reciprocal of 1/2? You just flip the fraction upside down, and 2 over 1 is the same as 2. We're going to multiply both sides by 2. So the opposite of multiplying by 1/2 is actually multiply by 2. So we're going to take this, multiply both sides by 2. We're going to drag it right here. Okay? Now, 40.5 times 2 is 81. So we now have the square root, or we now have x plus 5 quantities squared equals 81. What's our next square root? How do we get rid of that squared sign? Hopefully you're saying we got to take square root of it. So I'm going to take the square root. I'm going to drag it right up here. We take the square root of both sides, and we get x plus 5 equals plus or minus 9. So x plus 5 equals plus or minus 9. And what's our last step? How do we get rid of a plus 5? Well, you subtract 5, right? So we're going to subtract 5, take that, drag it right there, subtract 5 from both sides, and you got your answer. That's all there is to it, guys. Hopefully it goes well for you. Of course, I'm at Google Hangouts to help check all your answers. See you later. Bye-bye.